And this weekend, Twitter's just crushing him. And I'm like, he's 27. He's like a kid. He plays both ends of the floor. And by the way, he's a real center. And Anthony Davis doesn't like to play center. Right. So I looked at it and I thought, God, like the Kyle Lowry stuff I didn't buy. But I was like, Andre Drummond? He's like their fourth. If he's your fourth best player, he's a pretty good player.
It's a nice addition. There's no question about it. And I think they needed it. When you look at what Brooklyn added with Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, it was essential that the Lakers get a guy like Andre Drummond. What he needs to do for them is rebound, and by rebounding on both sides of the floor, he is a terrific offensive rebounder. He will get them extra possessions, Colin, and you know that's important, especially in the playoffs. He can be big at the rim. He's not much of a shot blocker, but he's a big body. So when you go in there, you still have to contend with him in the middle of the paint. And then on offense, he can score on putbacks, dump-offs, and he can rim run. That's all you need him to do. You kind of added what you lost from Dwight Howard and a little bit of JaVale McGee leaving you in the offseason. So this was good. Now, there will be matchups where you can't play him. And so there's going to be times, games, and series where he's out there a lot, and then there'll be those where you just can't play him. One could be the Nets. If the Nets go with, say, LaMarcus Aldridge at center against Drummond, Aldridge now has 3-point range.
Yeah.
And that's where they will try to exploit Drummond. Drummond will be great against Jokic, Rudy Gobert, but other teams will be able to exploit his inability to cover on the perimeter.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. The Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, I said yesterday, we kind of like, if, you know, the NBA has always been a lot of sizzle. So when you're on, like Russell Westbrook had a big night last night, but he's no longer the guy we talk about. There's Trae Young and there's all these other guys, and we do this with the NBA. Like we kind of like bury guys. And I look at LaMarcus Aldridge, and I think to myself, he's a 7-time All-Star. He can still, I mean, he's 15-point-a-game guy. I thought LaMarcus Aldridge to Brooklyn was a much bigger addition than Blake Griffin, and I almost felt it guarantees the Nets in the finals. That's what I felt like. Your thoughts?
They have so much. When they got Blake, I was like, wow, they didn't really need him, but he'll help. And then they got Aldridge, and it was, wow, they don't really need him, but it'll help. To your point, though, Colin, this is where it really will benefit Brooklyn. Their best offensive lineup is their small ball lineup with Jeff Green at center. All right, then sometimes they'll play Nick Claxton at center, and he's very good. He's good defensively, but he doesn't stretch the floor offensively. The Jeff Green lineup struggles defensively. Now you can put Aldridge at center, and now he can spread the floor for you offensively and still leave the lanes open for Durant, Harden, Kyrie, and he's a good defender interior. People don't think of him as a good defender, but he's a solid interior defender. So now that should answer your problems on that end of the floor when you go small. So he just gives them a whole nother look. And I heard you enjoy talking earlier. Look, this is the NBA. All of these guys can play. So role players who can't really create their own stuff, when you put them with 2 or 3 stars who draw double and triple teams and so much attention, they all of a sudden look good. Bruce Brown is balling. All right, Nick Claxton looks like a hooper now. I mean, think what Blake and LaMarcus Aldridge will do when they've got Kyrie and Harden drawing all this attention. It's no coincidence why Blake Griffin all of a sudden looks like, wow, he still can play because other guys are drawing all this attention.
So I was saying this when we were talking about this morning. What Zion is doing is I absolutely love. And I said, I'm a general manager for the next 5 years. So age matters, injuries matter. Who would I build my franchise around? Now, I thought it was a fairly easy list. And so my list was Zion was number 1. I think I had Luka was number 2. Okay, now I did Jokic 3 because I think he does so many things well. I put LeBron 4, although if he's injured one more time, he wouldn't be in my top 10. And then I put Jimmy Butler, who's only 31, at 5. I think he's a culture changer, both ends of the floor. So let's just talk about this. Zion would be 1 to me. Luka would be 2. Who would be your 1 and 2? Next 5 years.
Luka would be my number 1. Luka would be my number 1 because 3 is worth more than 2. And Luka has become a good three-point shooter. The last 2 months, he's shooting 42% from three-point range. Once he added that, you can't really stop him because he can get to where he wants to go on the court. He can shoot the mid-range. He can get to the rim. He obviously can shoot threes. They're 15-6, by the way, in these last 2 months when he's been hitting these threes. So Luka's already also proven it. And you were talking earlier about Zion and the levels you're at, right? Right now, he's in the honeymoon stage where we're just looking for him to prove that individually he's a superstar. I'm not looking at his wins and losses. I get it. Some people are like, oh, they're not winning. I'm not concerned about that. As a young guy, you don't expect the young player to carry a team to wins unless he goes to a team like Magic Johnson did with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something like that. Kyrie Irving didn't win early. LeBron didn't lead the Cavs to the playoffs in his first 2 years. So nobody should be ripping Zion for not leading the Pelicans to the playoffs yet. But Luka's already proven that, Colin, that he can win. So he led them to the Mavericks to the playoffs in his second year, which, again, LeBron didn't even do. And now he's got Dallas buzzing again. We'll see. Are they a 6 seed, 7 seed, whatever in the West? But they'll be in the playoffs. So I would take Luka. I mean, we're going by age a lot. I still, even though Giannis, it's a big question that can he lead a team? At his age, I probably take him over Zion because he does so much. Zion's got a lot of improvement to do. He's still got to add the mid-range, the three-pointer, the defensively he's got to get better, and rebounding. He doesn't rebound as well as he should. But I give you, he's a beast. Don't get me wrong. But at this stage, Giannis is still a young enough guy where I would take him over Zion too.
Well, we disagree on that. I never bought into the Giannis is the face of the league guy. I never bought into that thing. I do think there's a magnetism aspect to it, and I think Zion's got this magnetism. And I will say, Luka with Mark Cuban, they're going to be hyper aggressive to get people. Your Luka argument was very solid. Your Giannis argument not so much, but the Luka one was outstanding. All right, Broussard, good seeing you.
All right, man.
All right, Chris Broussard. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.